guys, so I just built a pedal. It's a Plexi drive, and we just finished doing everything on it, testing and everything. So it's ready to be shipped now. So I just thought I would share a few things about the pedal and to anyone who might be interested in it. So yeah, so I'll just show you the pedal now. Alright, so here's my pedal, and I've just been testing it to see how it looks on the oscilloscope, and to figure out any noise issues. So it has 4 controls: drive, volume, tone, and the control knob. It is true bypass. Right now I've hooked up my phone using a stereo cable because my phone has a function generator, so I'm using it onto the scope there, and it is hooked up. As you can see, it is hooked up, and it's connected to the scope through this BNC connector. So I'm just going to show you quickly how and what all the controls do on this pedal. So let me just focus a bit on the scope now, so you can see things better. I'll try and keep the pedal also in the view so that you can see what is going on. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually running the function generator into the pedal, and since it is true bypass, it would let the signal go through. And the settings that I'm using is basically these are the settings that I'm using. I don't know if you can see my screen, but so I don't know, I think it's not focusing. Okay, so the amplitude set at half, and the frequency set is 1000 hertz, which is 1 kilohertz. So that's the standard that I'm using, and I'm using a sine wave. As you can see, it shows sine, and then I have a triangular saw wave, square wave, and all that. So I'm just going to run through a few things. Let's see how it looks. So right now it's on. Alright, so I just repositioned everything on my desk so I could show the things properly. So what we have now is the pedal is hooked up again. As I mentioned, it's running through the signal generator. So this is how a 1 kilohertz signal, true bypass, from the pedal looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power on the pedal. I'm going to keep everything low, and we'll see what each of these knobs do. So there we go. So that's the pedal on at the moment, and that's how it looks at the moment. I'm going to increase the volume slightly, and you can see that it's pretty much, I have to just make it a little smaller so it looks properly. So here's the volume control, and it just goes off. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce it a bit more, and so that's what the volume control does. So that's what the volume control does, and the drive. So as you can see, that it pretty much makes it a square wave. A triangle wave. And now the tone control. So as you can see, as I'm turning the tone control up, you can see the change in the overall tone that it makes. You can see this nicely rounded off top end. It's not going to be harsh, so that's the best part. And now the contour knob. So I'm just increasing the contour knob value now, and you can see that it just rounds off the overall tone. Now the drive is very low, and you can see that the moment I start increasing the drive, it doesn't go into a spike. It just doesn't go into a very harsh spike. It's nice and smooth and falls down. pretty much. And yeah, so I'm going to leave the volume as it is here, so we can see how it's doing some of the things. I'm sorry, my hand was in the way. Okay, so here's the drive knob. As you can see that from a low point, it's nice and smooth, that curve. It's really nice and smooth. And then I'll just lower the volume a bit so that this doesn't go off the screen. And you can see that when I roll down the volume, it's even more smoother. I mean, sorry, the tone, it's even more smoother. And now is when it kind of gets into that really gainy stuff, but it's still at this is my favorite setting. This is where I get the kind of this Hendrix tone. Think Little Wing, think um, Stevie Ray Vaughan's tone, that kind of stuff. And then now I'll just increase the contour knob a bit, and you can see what it does. And this is a perfect setting basically. It's a really nice setting, and it's very smooth. It's not harsh, but yes, when you get the drive all the way up to here, probably it's going to be very nasty, and nasty in a good way, I would say. It has a really nice characteristic wherein it tries to get um, very gainier, just like a brown amp would do, and so on. So yes, yeah. So that's how it looks on a scope. I hope this was any good. Thank you.